Oh, good Sunday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just got finished mowing the yard. As you can see, look at them lines. Look at them lines. That's right, our new fire pit. Our new fire pit right there. That's our new fire pit right there. Taking this video on my phone, by the way. It's supposed to be 4K, even though I don't have a 4K TV. I guess some people might. But I'm going to start working on the car, getting the diff and the transmission fluid changed. And I got to go drive around a little bit to warm her up. So join me, will you? Alright guys, first things first, I got to get the truck out of the garage so I can have plenty of room to work on the S. So I'm going to back it out and then take the S for a little bit of a drive, warm everything up. It's going to be a lot easier to get all the fluids out. So, by the way, right now I'm using my Canon EOS Rebel T3i, which takes great video, but it has to constantly autofocus with your finger on the shutter button. So it's a little bit of a hassle. I'm going to try this out. Obviously it's pretty good on me right now, and I can see myself in the little thing over here. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use my phone a little bit, and I'm going to use my SJ cam and see how they all kind of work together and see how the videos kind of coalesce into a video that I can put on YouTube. But we're going to do this today, just try some stuff out, do some different shots and see what we can get. As you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful day. It's probably, I don't know, 63 degrees, 64 degrees. I got my fleece on right now because it is a little on the breezy side, and even though I have been mowing the yard for the past 2 hours, I'm in direct sun, but I'm going to be taking the S out with the top down, so I know it'll be a little bit cooler out. As you can see, Old Glory is flying high in the sun today. Look at that. God, what a beautiful flag right there. I love being an American. I love it. Anyways, let's go do this and join me on the ride. Alright guys, like I said, just trying to take the car out for a little bit, go around the block. Just want to warm up the fluids a little bit, get them easy to drain. Have a little fun while I'm at it. The kids are extremely cranky today, so I actually felt pretty bad leaving my wife there. My God. If one screams, they both scream. At any given time, one of them's screaming. From warming the car up, and I decided, since I was stupid and left the garage door open while I was weed eating and mowing, I had to get the leaf blower and get all the leaves out, get all the rocks out, all that mess. You can see here, that's front of the S. It's not leaking any oil or anything. It was for a little while, and it was the spool valve gasket, which is really the gasket that goes to the VTEC solenoid right on the side of the motor. It was leaked a little bit, and I started noticing drops on the concrete, so I fixed it, and I wanted to put the cardboard back under there just to make sure that there wasn't anything else leaking, and it's been fine ever since. So. All right, let's get this going. Just so you know, if you do this, if you take this video as a how-to, which is kind of how I'm going to do it, please make sure to use jack stands. Don't be one of those stupid people that just jacks it up, sticks her head up under a 3,000-pound car, and just relies on hydraulics. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's stupid. Don't do that. Let's get this done. Let's get it done. Alright guys, car's jacked up, it's on stands. I just want to show you what I'm going to use to do this. I'm going to do the diff first. Alright, tools. I've got a 23mm wrench. That is for the fill plug, and I'll show you where that is. I've got a 24mm socket and a breaker bar. It's kind of overdoing it, but I got it, it'll work, so whatever. This is to actually get the drain plug out. I have a 24mm just in case that becomes a little too much. This side of me, I got the Royal Purple. I've been using this stuff for the past, I don't know, 5 years. It's done great for the diff. Haven't had any problems out of it whatsoever. Highly recommended. I've also got just a cheapo pump over here. It's been working fine for the past couple years, so I'm using that. Now let's crawl up under here and show you exactly what I'm going to be taking off. Okay. So, this is the pumpkin, okay? So here is the fill plug. You can kind of sort of see it. Maybe it's a little blurry, but there you go. So here's the drain plug. So you can't really get to it with a box end wrench. So that's why I'm using the breaker bar and the socket. Should work just fine. It's how I've been doing it for a while now. So I'll probably bust this loose first, and then I'll take that all the way out and let it drain, and then I'll put that back on. There is a gasket here that you need to replace or resurface. Don't let people tell you that you have to get a new one every time. Just rub them on some emery cloth and get them even back out, because the copper or the aluminum, whichever is used, I believe this is the copper one and this is the aluminum gasket here, whichever one you use, if you just even it out, that's what you need, because those metals crush very easily. That's what they do. That metal crushes and creates a seal. So as you can see, no problem. I've already done it maybe once or twice and haven't leaked at all. No leak there, no leak there. Like I said, there's 180,000 miles on this car. And to be honest, all in all, I mean, up under this thing's pretty clean, if you can see. Oh, while I'm down here, briefly saw earlier in one of my earlier videos the UK mod exhaust. This is the mod right here. Okay, so as you can see, exhaust gases come through the stock pipe. This is all stock exhaust here. Okay, comes through the stock pipe, goes into the resonant chamber of the muffler here. Obviously there's another one on the other side right there. Comes in, flows back out and around this little U here, this little elbow, and then that's when it actually comes out of the exhaust itself. So by bypassing this, it just allows just a little bit more of the tone to come out, and that's what makes it sound so good. All these aftermarket exhausts, I've yet to hear one that actually sounds as good as this does. It's nice and quiet when you want it to be. It's nice and loud when you want it to be. It crackles and pops when you downshift. It's just amazing. And I can't remember exactly. I think it's 1.5 inch ID pipe is what was used here, or tubing I should say. Looks like the welds could have been a little bit better, but you know, I'll spray them or something if I need to. But I do have a welder, so I can close them back up if they form any kind of rust. But that's just what that is, in case you're wondering what the UK mod is I'm always talking about. So let's get to getting on this, and I will show you exactly what it entails. It's pretty easy. Just to be honest, the hardest part is getting the car in the air. So let's do this. Alright, now the actual drain plug for the diff is going to have a little tiny magnet, as you can see. And yes, there are little tiny bits of metal in there. As long as it's not giant flakes, you're pretty good. That seems pretty average to me. As you can see, I've wiped a little bit of it off there and there. Nothing too crazy, so I'm just going to knock a little bit of that off before I put it back. It still looks like it's in pretty good shape. I did bang through the gears a little bit on the way around the block to warm it up, and everything felt good. Any S2000 owners know that S2000s, especially the AP1s, are notorious for the rear diffs exploding on high horsepower, pretty much anything over about 300 to the wheel, especially if you decide you want to dump the clutch all the time and dig race, whatever. So that's not good. If I'm not mistaken, these things were manufactured by Kia, so Kia gives you an idea of what you're dealing with. As long as you take care of them, change the fluid, do what you got to do. Don't drive it like a maniac, So as long as you're not just, hitting it from a dig, you should be fine. Let's continue. Alright, diff is done. Everything's back together. Fluid's in there. When you put the fluid in, you can't tell if you have enough in there unless it's running out of the fill drain. So you have a little bung for the fill drain. As soon as it starts coming out of that, it takes a little less than a quart. So if you have one of these bottles of Royal Purple or whatever diff fluid you want to use, basically it'll take just a little bit less than that. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 0.91 quarts or somewhere around there. So you have a little bit left over, but it's really not enough to mess with, so I just put the old stuff back in there. Obviously, you put the drain plug back in, put the fill plug back in, you're good to go. Now on to the transmission fluid. As you can see here, I'm using Honda genuine manual transmission fluid. This is the only thing I ever used in the transmission in this car. I do have new gaskets for these, since I believe these I've used probably 3 or 4 times now, so I went ahead and got some new ones. And this is the fill plug, I believe, and this is the actual drain plug. The drain plug, you actually have to use just a regular ratchet wrench, and it will go into right here. Okay, you see how that fits? Big square. We'll go in there, pop that open. That's where we fill it. So I will do that, and you'll get a little time lapse of that. Okay, I have taken the drain plug out of the transmission, and I've forgotten what size the fill plug was. It is 17 millimeter. So we're going to use that to undo this. By the way, when I took this out, the fluid was still pretty much crystal clear, so that's a good sign. No chunks of metal or anything in there. This is the 17-inch fill plug. This was the ratchet socket. What do you want to call it? Just square. Just use the end of your ratchet right there. Good to go with that. So I'm going to take the fill plug out. I'll put the new drain plug back in. Once I feel that that's drained enough, then I will basically pump a little under 2 quarts back into the transmission, just like I did the differential, and obviously you'll get a little bit of a time lapse on that too. Alright, so at this point I want to stop and make a slight observation here. Typically Honda MTF has always been a clear fluid, okay, or maybe slightly golden. This time though, it's reddish pink. That's the way it is brand new out of the bottle. I actually thought I was getting contamination from the Royal Purple into this, but it's not. It's actually a reddish pink color now, and I'm sitting here reading it going, it is MTF, right? Yes, it is manual transmission fluid. It does say new and improved formula for Honda vehicles, so I guess it's supposed to be that way. Anyways, I guess they have red manual transmission fluid now. Just an observation for anybody out there that goes, oh, what is this stuff? Alright. Alright, so just got finished up. The fluids are changed, the plugs are back in, everything's good to go. Just got to get the car back on the ground, take it for a little test drive, And I gotta put my tools away. That's my least favorite part, to be honest. Jacking it up, don't really like it. Putting the tools away, hate it. That's why my workbench is a mess. So, let me get this knocked out, put all the old fluid back in there, in the bottles. There's my drain. Kind of worn out and I'm hungry. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna go for a ride. Then we're gonna eat dinner. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just send me a comment. I'll let you know if there's anything I left out. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff I left out. I'm trying to do a little back and forth here with the cameras, so we'll see what happens. I know I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at myself because it's kind of blurry sometimes. I want to make sure I'm not too blurry like that. So you can hear it? Terrible. Anyway, yeah, so give me a thumbs up if it was helpful. If it wasn't helpful, tell me how I can make it more helpful. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. You guys have a great weekend and a great week. Be safe, drive safe, give your family a hug. Good night. Bye. What's up again, guys? Before this video ends, I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to everybody that's watched my videos, that subscribe, that comment, that like them, that share them. It really means a lot to me. This is something that I've been wanting to do for probably a year and a half now. I've watched a lot of moto vloggers and auto vloggers on YouTube for a long time, and I thought, you know what, I like to try that. That's something that seems fun to me. And if I can help people out, you know, like I'm trying to do today with the fluid changes and how-to videos, stuff like that, and you know, maybe make somebody smile here and there. That's my whole goal with this. You know, I want to make people's day. I want to make people laugh, be happy, and maybe forget about work or forget about hard times, whatever. That's my goal with this. And like I said, I just wanted to personally thank everybody that's helped me out the past couple months since I've been doing this. I guess I've really only been doing this since July. Not that long. A couple dozen videos now. If you haven't already, you know, please subscribe. Please like my video, share, whatever you want to do. Tell your friends, and I'd really appreciate it. So you guys have a good one, and we'll see you next time.